Okay. Okay, here we are. I see you guys now. Well, I see myself moving, so things must be back in order. But, wow. I actually needed that minute just to kind of regroup from that too. I didn't. I that was powerful. Um, like I was standing right there that day, and it still affects me. Like that's very powerful. Very our the words that he said still stand true today, and they still hit, right in the heart, and it tells, the words that he said a year ago. We're still standing beside that, and we're still standing true to those words that we're going to continue um, doing exactly what he said. This is our territory. It's unceded land. We're not here to, the time for games sort of thing is over. Um, our lands are no longer in trust of the crown or the government. They are now our lands, all unoccupied. And if people, that kind of scared a lot of people when this resolution had taken place, that people, a lot of the non-natives thought, oh my God, we're going to go and start taking all their land. But that wasn't the intention. It never is, and never, never will be. Those lands are yours in trust, just the same as anything else. Your ancestors had them. There's so many family farms and everything that are out there. We would not think of doing that to anyone. It's inhumane. We know how it feels to have things ripped away from us, and we don't want to be a part of the the continued battles and hatred and whatever. We want to mend all of this, and we're hoping that we know that what we did over the last year, that we've mended a lot of fences, and we've regained a lot of trust within our neighbors and our allies, and we're like this last October 1st. Wow, I'm still like, uh, I was sitting here reading, and I mean listening, and I could feel my insides just shaking, um, you know, with emotion of, like we did that. We were there, and we told the government without any, um, without even blinking, that this is it. This, started off, we're protecting the land from SWN. And what we realized going through, that we actually had to protect our land from those who are holding it in trust. And that's the government. So because they are the ones who are doing this, they are the ones who are allowing these companies to come in and sign leases and get licenses and do all of this stuff to land that isn't even theirs to begin with. They have no authority to do that without coming to each and every community and saying, look, this is what this company wants to do. This is what we plan on doing. We would like to know if this is okay, sort of thing. But they didn't. And if they did, it was all backdoor deals, and only with a select few. And it wasn't even complete consultation, because the community had no idea whatsoever as to what was going on, until these people brought the issue to us on the highway 11, when we were doing the Idle No More. It was these people who said, do you know what's happening in your territory? Do you know what's going to happen on your land? Um, Once they told us and we got educated, then, I'm telling you, there was a lot of mobilizing. There was a lot of all night meetings, and you name it, we were on it. We had training, civil disobedience training. We had, you name it, we videos after videos, and we had people come in and show us, exactly what the process is. And, like after the first video, I was convinced. I'm like, I don't want this around here. And so we continued to fight, and we continued to say no, that we were not going to allow this to happen. Um, then we, like it's, for the thing is, it was non-natives who came to us and said, we need your help. And little did we know that we all needed each other's help. We, as First Nations here in New Brunswick, could not have fought as hard as we did without the francophones and anglophones backing us up. They backed us up. They stood tall. I mean, there were so many backstore brawls in a sense where we had allies who were out there arguing with their own people, telling them, look, this is what they're doing. This is what the real issue is here. And, like throw away the racism and throw away the hate of, this is why we're doing this. This is why the Mi'kmaq people are doing it, because they have every right to, and we're going to back them up as long as we can, and as long as we have to. And we had such strong, committed allies, francophones and anglophones. It was unreal. Um, like I'd like to have some of them, come. I've already put the message out to a few if they would come and sit and talk with me, and um, so that you guys could hear, their side of it also. They're just as passionate and about the land and about preserving the nature and preserving the beauty of this province as we are, and some of them are even more so. Um, because not everybody in our community and communities are environmentally conscious. They're not can't care either way sort of attitudes, but there's some that are just would lay down in front of the thumper trucks if they had to, and that's the same on both sides, all three communities. It's just such a powerful thing to see that happening, and that video that we just seen, uh, that crowd um, was a really big crowd, but it wasn't all First Nations that were there. There was people from everywhere that showed up on that day, and there are a number of videos out there also that show this, the um, the actual speech and the celebrations afterwards, with it being Treaty Day and everything. We had a feast, I believe. I don't know why, but I keep thinking it was Treaty Day that we had a big feast there. It might have been the next day, but this was the highlight of Treaty Day for us. And the I was trying to figure out what happened on the 30th. I know something had occurred, something, but I could not remember it until I was talking with my sister today, and the director of the live stream, and they reminded me that yesterday marked the 1 year anniversary that a group of high school students from Bonner, which is the school that ended up being put in lockdown on the 17th, the high school, which was very, very bordering the blockade line and everything else. And even some of the videos, you probably actually might have seen the school in some of the videos, not far from where the cars were on fire. Um, so it was the day before Treaty Day. These kids on their own lunch break decided to march down, and I'm telling you, it was the most one of the most powerful things that I had seen. That our youth are walking down the road and they're chanting, "Hell no, shale gas must go," and it was so awesome, so powerful. I was in tears, and I told one of the other women, I said, grab your drum. I said, we got to honor these youth. We have to honor what they're doing, what they're standing for. We have to let them know that we appreciate what they're doing. And so we went down and met up with them, and so we drummed them into the camp, under basically under our protection, under our guidance. We marched them in and drummed them in, and um, we got to the site, like right inside the camp, and then we everybody, all the youth got into a circle, and we continued to do the honor song for them, and it was so powerful. I could barely even finish the song. I mean, I had this humongous lump in my throat. You know, I was so proud of our youth that day. I was so proud of the stand that they took. And, you know, like I said, they did this on their own time. They did it on their own volition. They got together at lunch hour and said, you know, we're going to go down, or we're going to do something. And so that afternoon, that group that came down, we kind of gave them a little bit of a tour of the camp and of the where the thumper trucks were, the compound and everything, and kind of gave them a little bit of an education on exactly what it is that's happening, you know, what those trucks do and what all those boxes were for, and you know, all this other stuff. And so they, you know, it was a learning experience for them for sure. There was some emotions that had gotten pretty high with some of them, especially the boys, and we had to have a couple of the older guys come in and talk to them and kind of, you know, not really talk them down, but just kind of like, you know, look, guys, you know, we can't stoop to these guys' level. I guess something was said by one of the security or something or other, and you know, tempers flew, and they didn't. They were very angry. These youth were very angry. So we just kind of had to show them that, you know, look, we're here. We're this is a peaceful camp, and we're trying to be, you know, the peaceful people. So let's be more adults than they are and not stoop to their level. So after that, whenever we had any visitors, especially our youth, we just let them know that, you know, regardless of what is said or done, just, you know, stay respectful, and uh, don't, you know, throw anything inside the cage or anything. You know, it's like going to the zoo. You don't poke the animals, right? So that was kind of one of my little things I used to say. You know, it's just like going to the zoo. You don't poke at the animals, and they won't poke back. They won't growl or bite. So, um, but we started doing it more in an orderly fashion, and they had an escort. Somebody escorted them to to go in, and they were escorted around and given a basically a tour with a lesson on what was actually in there and what was going on, and then they you know, they were escorted back out by one of the warriors, or one of the volunteers that was there helping out. So yeah, there was a video that I was going to show, but I just figured, you know, that wasn't you know, very appropriate. So, but there are, Dee has a number of videos all lined up here. A lot of them is the same video of what you just seen of Aaron speaking on about the treaty, and But there is another one I wanted to show you. Somebody had put up, and it's just yeah, this is one of our elders actually. So I'm gonna put this up, and I'm gonna bring it through first before I start pressing any buttons again this time. Here we go. All right. So yeah, this is it just says Emmet. It doesn't. It's saying wise words. I don't know more at Treaty Day. So this was a year ago that this had happened. So.
And in all these years and all with this activity, a lot of people have been labeled different derogatory terms. But I want to set the record straight that these are concerned citizens. They're not rebels. They're not nothing else but concerned citizens. That's why they go out in the front line. And as far as physical stuff, we don't need to use physical stuff any more than the government needs to use physical stuff. Because we have rights, and we're going to use those rights. There is laws in this country, and we're going to use those laws. So if there's nobody else that wants to have a say, oh, we got one more.
And then we're gonna.
Okay, my name's Rosa.
Hi, Rosa.
Hi, someone don't know. I walked down the road this morning and yesterday morning, and I saw warriors sleeping right on the pavement, and that broke my heart. Thank you very much to everyone. I promise you it won't be cold tonight. We're going to bring some sleeping bags and blankets.
There's another human being that walked this earth doesn't carry scars of shame. And a little over 30 years ago, in this area, nobody knew what power was. And this is the first time, I ever felt proud to shake hands with a chief. Because there's so much corruption out there and it's killing our people. So when and where are we going to stop destroying the earth? When are we going to stop doing this?
Now. Right now.
Right now!
Right now. We support you guys.
How can we care for our children when we don't even care for ourselves? I was one of the first ones to bring the sweat lodge back over 30 years ago, and I waited over 30 years for this. So thank you, Chief.
Wow.
Acadians, Anglophones, Francophones, original people of this land have been working for a really long time, 5 years, 3 years, 2 years. This didn't just happen overnight. What you're seeing here is the people coming together is so historic. Why? Because what's going on in the news now in Colorado.
Okay. Yeah. That but what the words of the elder still rings through today, that you know, we have to stop, and we have to stop hurting each other. We have to stop hurting the earth. And he he was like so right on when he said, um, how can we, how can we do this if we don't stop hurting ourselves? And like, that's so true, so strong, that it those words alone woke up so many people. They they hit a lot of our people, and I do believe because of what he said that day, um, we ended up with a lot more sober and clean brothers and sisters from our community and other communities. Our youth, the ones who were there, really needed to hear these words from their elders, from their chief. And they you could see the pride that they had as they were standing there and as they were talking. Um, you could hear it, you could feel it in their words of exactly what they knew that day what it meant to be First Nation. They knew that day what it meant to have treaty rights. And up until that point, a lot of them had no clue. And I'm so proud to be a part of something like that. Um, when like I said, we're leading up to a celebration of the people. When we reach October 16th, we're not celebrating what the RCMP did. We're celebrating what we did as a nation, as a community, as a province. That's why we're here. That's why we keep fighting. We're not doing this. We never did this for the money. We never did this for uh, the fortune and fame, because I'm telling you, there's no fortune in anything that I did. Uh, I'm still broke as hell, and working my ass off for every dollar I get. And you know the the celebration is really for them. And if you had seen what happened on that day on the live stream, by the very select few that we had out there live streaming, um, you would have seen, and you might have seen some of the stuff on CTV, but nothing compared to what our people and what this county, I'm not going to say just this town, it's the entire county, Kent County, witnessed and had gone through that day. Pretty well, our entire county was shut down. It was there was blockades everywhere. RCMP were blocking roads everywhere, back roads, side roads, main roads. It didn't matter. Um, we were, they claimed that the warriors and the protesters were being um, unlawful, but when you look at it, uh, who was really the ones that were being unlawful? Um, but the it was events like that happened a year ago today that really instilled why we were doing this. And it was things like that, like words that Emmett had, the elder, at the end of that, and even the gentleman at the beginning, his words also, people coming to the camp and sitting and talking and sharing words like that, words of encouragement, words of appreciation. And the lady that spoke, she, like it broke her heart to see that, our young warriors were guarding the gate, but um, they had to sleep on the pavement. Some of them had to sleep on the pavement in between shifts, sort of thing. And but they were willing to do that, and that's some of the things that we did willingly and without any. Um, we didn't ask for anything. People just came and gave it. And but the most important thing was they came and they gave their words of support, and it was the words that, for myself personally, that helped keep me going as long as I did. Um, it was, the people who kept coming in and saying, "Oh, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for having the courage to be here." Um, and I kept telling them, in a sense, like it's not really, it's not courage. It's just, we're just doing it because we have to. It's a part of us. It's who we are. And there's like there's no way that you would have been able to stop us, really. Um, because when it got to that point, there was just no return. As soon as that gate was blocked, and that was it. It was that we were at the point of no return, and we were going to make sure that we were heard, our voices were heard, and what needed to be said was said. Um, but the whole purpose of doing this show is, like I said, is I want to hear stories from other people, people that were here that actually came and sat in the camp with us, and people who, you know, just, even if they just want to, you know, text, or message here on the chat and just say, hi, we're here, and we'd like to say thanks, and like, we would like to know who you are, and just, to say, thank you to you for your support and everything that you did for us just by being there, and saying, these words of thanks. And you know like I said, it was a lot of that really got us through, and really helped us, give us a lot of strength. I know for myself personally, that's what got me through some of those really long, trying days of yelling and screaming at RCMPs, and arguing with this one and arguing with that one, and it got pretty trying at times. And um, like, even just this day, the October 1st, um, and Emmett said it himself. It's the first time that he's ever been proud to shake the hand of a chief, and that seemed to be a common argument that I had with people, that they continuously there was a continuous feeling of, our chief has sold out, our chief has done this, our chief is responsible. Blah. I mean, it was so crazy that almost every day I was defending this man, and um, it was like almost to the point that this, this celebration that you've seen the video of all those people, the it almost didn't even happen. Like it was getting so the tensions and everything was starting to happen. The mistrust was setting in. The I don't know, paranoia or what you want to call it, but there was a lot of things going on, and if if you look at the video, you don't really see a whole lot, but you hear and you feel, like the people cheering, and they're happy that this is happening. But prior to that, there was a lot of uh, shaky moments, but it all came out and it all happened uh, very smoothly. Everything happened the way it was supposed to happen, and we believe that things happen for a reason. And I say this all the time, that the Creator is the one that's in charge, and whatever is going to happen is going to happen. Um, we can plan for something, but there's no way that it's going to happen that way. So usually I just say, okay, we're going to do this on this time, but it's still in the Creator's hands as to how it's going to go about. So yeah, I was looking for another video I wanted to show you guys of that day. Well, the one that Willie was talking. Yeah, I'm just going to continue on with her video and let you guys just keep listening to, some videos and some very inspirational words of, what happened that day. And the, like I said, like it's better that you hear it from them and you hear the words from them, because, these are their words and very strong words. So I'm just going to let this play, and I'll come back in a few minutes.
A flood happened where they let everybody frack.
I want to go back to the beginning so everybody can hear.
Acadians, Anglophones, Francophones, original people of this land have been working for a really long time. 5 years, 3 years, 2 years. This didn't just happen overnight. What you're seeing here is the people coming together is so historic. Why? Because what's going on in the news now in Colorado, a flood happened where they let everybody frack. There are thousands of wells leaking toxins into the water in Colorado right now, and they can't stop it. In Pennsylvania, 1,500 fracking leases were canceled. Why? Because there's no money in it. They can't contain it. The insurance companies are nervous. The banks are nervous. It doesn't even work economically. We're here protecting our water and land. We're protecting our homes. There are people who've had to walk away from their houses because they're worth nothing once a fracked well goes right beside it. There are people who have owed mortgages and they're in hock up to their necks and just have had to walk away. There are people who have been sick. There have been people who have died because of exposure to these chemicals. Our own doctors, including the New Brunswick Medical Officer of Health, has told the government, stop, look at this. Before you go ahead, get baseline human health data. They didn't do it. We looked for baseline environmental health data. They didn't do it. 30,000 people signed a petition and said, no, wait, they didn't do it. Why is the government going ahead? Because of what? Money? Why is Irving supporting them? They're in an Irving compound right now. Who stands to benefit if they come in front of my house? Do my grandchildren get clean water? Do yours? The people of Penobscot are present with us today. Our next step is to help them as communities working together, because they've already suffered. Their houses are falling in the ground. Their water's gone. Penobscot is in Signatuck District.
So we're coming.
We're coming, Penobscot. Get ready. We've got two different companies, same fight. Yep. Remember this space. Wherever you want to set up shale, wherever you want to set up anything that's going to destroy my land, destroy my grandchildren's future, remember this space, because it'll be here, and it'll be in your face.
I'd like to thank everybody that came out.
Yeah, famous last words,
I'm Mike
I guess.
McKinley on behalf of.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we're gonna be listening to some of the Acadian and Francophone um, and Anglophone supporters. I believe there's a lineup of them that are coming and speak. So I'm just gonna keep playing some videos and let you guys kind of relive this. But I want to say the one thing there with the lady that was there. Like she said, this fight was years in the making, and it only has been the last year that the First Nations has actually jumped in, both feet and actually decided to put a stop to it. And and I do believe the only reason why that happened um, was because we finally got educated and we got informed. If we had been educated and informed right from the beginning, right from when this whole thing happened, what 3-4 years ago, in Maliseet territory, and they stopped them. One woman walked out and stood in front of the truck and said, "That's it. You're not going anywhere." And that was it. They had no choice because the people came together and they stood there and they said, "You're done. You are not testing anymore in our territory." And that was it. They actually packed up and they left. And because they were informed. Um, you only see um, the Mi'kmaq people getting involved, a couple years later because of that one main reason is that we were not informed. We were not. There was no consultation with the people. So how could we say yes or no if we didn't even know what was going on? And that was the whole fight, was that like, you didn't even come and ask us. You didn't even come and say, well, this is what we want to do and here's the risk. But there was never anything like that. No one came to my door, or nobody came to my community and said, here's a community meeting. That angers me, because it was our lives and it's our children's lives, our generations coming, that are the ones that are in trouble if this goes through. So her words are so true, that is exactly what happened. We got educated, and now we, at this time, we took a stand. And yeah, so there's it's unfortunate that Penobsco's, they're in the situation that they're in, um, because we were uninformed, we were uneducated, the First Nations people were. And at this time, you know, most of us can't even go near a anything to do with SWIN. Um, but that's nothing to say that we can't go to the other company that's fracking in New Brunswick. Um, but when they put the condition on you to be of peace, to keep the peace and be of good behavior, um, it makes it really hard for any of us to actually go and do anything and support and help when they really need the help. And like myself, I gave my word to these people that I was going to help them. And I'm trying everything I possibly can from the other side, and bringing the awareness out and letting people know that this is what's happening. And if I can find the video of the lady that's speaking, I really while I'm you guys are listening to this next couple of videos, I'm going to see if I can actually find that video. All right, so I'm just going to let these couple of videos play and give you guys a chance to be witness to what happened there on October 1st, a year ago today.
Our environment, our choice. We'd like to thank the Band Council for their action today. Puis on veut donner un gros merci à tous les membres de notre environnement, notre choix, puis tous les francophones qui nous supportent pour 2 ans et demi. Puis c'est ça, c'est une journée historique, puis je suis vraiment content que vous êtes ici aujourd'hui.
On est là pour les enfants!
Pour les enfants!
Moi, je viens du Québec. Ça fait 2 ans que j'habite ici. Je suis déménagée ici pour que mon enfant de 6 ans ait une belle vie dans la nature. Puis on ne déménagera pas dans 6 mois parce qu'il y a des gaz de schiste. Il faut sauver la nature, il faut sauver nos enfants. Moi, je suis pas là pour moi, je suis pas là pour mes 2 enfants. J'ai une belle fille, j'ai un beau garçon, puis je veux les garder beaux longtemps.
Anybody else gonna have a say?
I would like to say,
Yeah. So that lady that was
I'd like
just
to
speaking
give an
there,
opportunity also for the supporters, the online.
she she ended up becoming my sister-in-law. Yeah, it's a crazy little story going on there, but I'm hoping that she's gonna actually come in and share her story because she has a wonderful story. I'm not sure what this one is. Maybe it's the same video kind of rolling into each other now. Let's go over back up here. Let's see what this one is.
Sign the treaty. They heard of us all the way up to Quebec. They are talking about us. We are on everything about everywhere, what I'm understanding. So the word is getting out, and everybody's hearing it. So now the next step, how we're going to negotiate this with the chiefs and the youth and SWN, is that what we got to take back to these RCMP. So we're going to have to meet with the youth, the elders, so we can talk to them, and the other representatives, so we can sit down and come up with a conclusion with you guys.
Okay. Kind of got lost here in the videos. Yeah. So that was Jim Pictou talking to the group, trying to get some sort of sit down. I don't know if he was looking for like demands or what he was intending on. I can't remember. Here's another video. This one is pretty long. We'll just let it play and see what happens.
Geez, are we doing Terry Fox run? I don't know, but he's like, are we doing Terry Fox run? Yeah.
This is where the RCMP started their block. So if anybody came to, if anybody wanted to actually come to the compound and visit, they had to park, well, you've seen the parking area, they had to park there and then walk this entire road. And you can see the person's video is kind of shaky, but it's a long walk. And they were making our elders get out of the cars and actually, you know, pretty well forcing them to walk down there. We end up, they allowed us to have a vehicle to be able to go back and forth from the actual camp to where the RCMP had the road blocked off so that we could actually start picking up supplies, and we could, if we had elders who needed assistance on coming up to the site, then they were at least there was somebody there to help them, to drive them up, and then also to drive them back to their vehicles if necessary. The we had a lot of different issues that had come up throughout this beginnings of they weren't allowing us to have food and water delivered. They weren't allowing uh, equipment for getting firewood and like all of this other stuff, and just crazy stuff. Like people were wanting to drop off clothing and blankets and everything else, and um, they were taking all the bags and searching through them and going through. It didn't matter who it was who came by and what they were donating. The police felt it, that they, everything had to be searched and everything else. We're just lucky that they didn't, start popping out or, popping the food and stuff like that. But they were really rude with a lot of the people too. But that's where a lot of the arguments and stuff started to happen with uh, between the protesters and or protectors and the RCMP is when we were being denied of our rights and we were being denied just general access to what necessities of life sort of thing, right? So I don't know what's going on with this video. It doesn't want to keep playing. Kind of good thing that I was narrating it because it just sort of died here. It won't buffer any further by the looks of it. But basically what this video is just like a replay of oh, here we go. It was just on a skip, I think. This person here is recording. I'm going to put the sound back on just to see.
Yeah. And it was
Charles! Hey, how you doing?
I'll bring her.
Hats off, please. I'd like to start off with a little prayer. Gizo. Mega de Walaliek ni Gisco. Walaliek with Chitanagwe. Walaliek, Tandil Mawaliek, Tandil Migmultiek, Tandil Alazieltiek, Tandil Winjultiek. Walaliek with Chitnian Lagisco. Tandil Mawidayek. Tandil no Tabuidayek, Nimajuino, Tandil Laimudian. Gizo Walaliek. Creator, I'd like to thank the Creator today. I'd like to thank for the great day, the beautiful day that we have. I would like to thank the Creator for having us as Mi'kmaq people, as English people, as French-speaking people, Acadians. I thank the Creator today for gathering us here today in unity for one common goal and a common cause to stop fracking. Now, for the safety and well-being of our people here today, the Elsipogtog Chief and Council has drafted the following resolution. Whereas Prime Minister Harper and the Conservative government have lifted restrictions to the environmental protection of our lands and waters, and whereas the provincial government has turned over all lands entrusted to them by the British Crown to a corporation for their own benefit, and whereas the Queen, under whose name our lands are entrusted, has shown unequivocally that she will not protect our interests. And whereas our present lands are not adequate for our population, and whereas our lands have not yielded the amount capable of supporting our people due to mismanagement, and whereas the Mi'kmaq of Sikinikook are capable of managing our lands, and whereas we have lost confidence in governments for the safekeeping of our lands held in trust by the Crown. Whereas the notice of eviction from our Gapton has been totally ignored by the provincial government and Southwest Energy. And whereas we have been compelled to act to save our water, land, and animals from ruin. Be it therefore resolved at a duly convened council meeting in Elsipogtog, let it be known to all that we, as the Chief and Council of Elsipogtog, are reclaiming all unoccupied reserve lands and put back in the trust of our people. Furthermore, we have been instructed by our people that they are ready and willing and able to go out and stake their claims on all unoccupied Crown lands for their own use and benefit. Well, all you need to that's
She asked me to bring, she took my bag.
Okay, yeah, that was just the entire speech. Aaron reading the entire band council resolution that nice and clear that he basically has said, has decided, the chief and council have taken back the responsibility of our lands because, yes, we no longer trust that they are going to take care of our land, and they've proven that pretty well. It has had to go this far in order for it's unfortunate that it had to go where it went. It's unfortunate that the the things that happened. Um, you know, we can't turn that back. We can't do anything about that right now. But what we can do is heal from it and learn from it, and that's one of the biggest things is if we didn't learn anything from this, then we're bound to repeat it, and I don't know if I have the energy to to repeat this again. Um, so this is another one of the reasons why I've chosen to come out and do this and kind of give people, like I don't intend on dredging up any emotions or anything like that, but maybe that's what needs to happen for some people. They need to stop hiding from it and deal with it. Um, and some of us need to look at it one more time before we close the door on it. And just myself sitting here, listen, some of these videos are like, wow. um, I thought, oh, I know that like every day I have to deal with this. Every day I drive past the site that everything happened. Pretty well every day drive past the site where I was arrested the first time and arrested the second time, brutally arrested the second time. And, you know, every day I relive it. And, but it's, in a sense, it's, you know, it's given me strength in a way that, you know, I don't ever want my grandchildren to have to stand where I stood. I don't even want my daughters, my sons to have to stand where I stood. And you know, I really hope that by doing what I did and where and getting arrested and everything else, that it's going to help the people to learn that you know what today is really about. We have treaty rights. We have the right and to stand up for what's ours, and that's everyone, not just First Nation people. Everyone has the right to stand up and say no when something is horribly wrong. We've stood up against residential school. We stood up against, um, you know, like women's rights. We've had, you know, elders' rights. We've, you know, everything. You know, people all around the world have stood up and fought for the rights of the people, um, and now we're standing for the rights of our mother and all of creation that she holds. We have the right to that. That was it, and it's not even a right, it was a gift. The Creator gave us this gift. And because it was such a precious gift, He also gave us the rules and the responsibility to take care of it. And, you know, we've lapsed on that. We all have. Because if we didn't, there wouldn't be any, she wouldn't have any scars. Um, she wouldn't have Alberta sands digging through her right now. She wouldn't have those men digging this massive hole in her in Alberta. She wouldn't have all of those people digging and putting pipes through her in Colorado and you name it, out in the States and Texas and all the different mining and everything else. I mean, all over the world we have lapsed on this. New Brunswick, Penobscot, and Potash, you know, Potash Corp and Corridor, we've lapsed because they're here and they are still active. And those are some of the things that we need to correct. And I'm really hoping that with um, this new government that has come in, who seem to be very aware of what we want as a people, not just the First Nations, but as the people of New Brunswick. Because this election we had pretty well was a referendum, I would say. To me, it was a referendum because of the fact that the former premier, Mr. Allward, set his platform directly on a shale well in Penobscot. He set it off right there. And his entire platform, his entire campaign was say yes, say yes. Well, Mr. Allward, New Brunswick spoke. New Brunswick said no. New Brunswick voted red. And enough people voted green to have the Green Party leader sitting in the House. So, you know, when the people speak, then you should listen. The people long time ago told you, and I'm speaking to Allward right now, and really anybody else who wants to try and do what he did, that, you know, the people have spoke. They do not want this in New Brunswick. The ones who were wanting it are starting to turn, you know, around and come back and saying no, because if if it was as popular as Allward thought it was, he would be still premier of New Brunswick. And, you know, thank goodness he's not. I thank the creator. But the you know, they spoke. You know, the people of New Brunswick, not just the First Nations, the entire people of New Brunswick spoke, and they said, you know, um, he laid out his platform: vote yes for shale, vote yes PC, and you know, we'll have shale gas. Well, people voted no. People are have said no loud and clear, and they are you know, they're the ones that are in charge. And somewhere along the line, you know, our governments have forgot that. Our governments, you know, clear across Canada, are forgetting the fact that it's our land, and if you want to do anything to it, with it, you have to come and talk to us. And if we do not look at it as something that is um, not only viable but safe, and you know, it will not harm the environment, it will not harm our children, our grandchildren, uh, you know, if we don't think that's possible, then we're not going to allow it. And that is, you know, I think one of the main reasons why they did not come and talk to us is because they knew we were going to say no to begin with. And they, you know, they were scared, I would say, about, you know, what was going to happen, because they really did not want us in there. They did not want us to be at the table, because when we did finally come to the table, they oh, this is the video I've been looking for. They really got scared. Um, that's another video that we will show you again. But I want to show you this one. This is a very powerful moment. I believe this is the right one that I'm looking at. Yeah, it is. This is the one here. Yeah, what you see happening there, I wish somebody had a better video of that. That was oh, here they go. Some of these videos kind of got a little
We're gonna go down this way. Carry the circle this way.
This way.
This was after all the people had spoken and all of the oh darn, you guys didn't even see that. I'm gonna put the video back up here. After all of the people finished speaking, I'm sorry about that. I keep forgetting I have to keep moving things around here. But after all the people had spoke, we had a beautiful round dance, and the strangest things happen. Like I said, you know, everything happens for a reason. I think this is the beginning of it.
Yeah, I guess that's going to be it for today. And hopefully we'll see you again.
Round dance. Round dance.
We're going to have a round dance here just to close.
Joy dance. Everyone.
Everybody's invited to take part in the round dance.
Okay. No. Oh, darn. Hold on. That's not it. I'm trying to get it in order, and it's not happening for me here. Just hold on. Okay.
And in all these
That's not it either. What? But yeah, it's a pretty awesome video that this, you know, if it had been the full video, it would have been so cool. As what happened was, yeah, this is the one you're seeing, I believe. You can hear the round dance being sung by the women, and what's going to happen is you're going to see the video here in a second. Oh, here we come. Here, the round dance is so big. You can't even really see the circle right now, but here they come. And they're all lining up. Everybody has their hands together, linking, and they're dancing, doing the round dance. And so what ended up happening during that round dance, it ended up breaking off, and it went from where all the speeches and everything were happening to moving right into the compound. If you see here, they're actually going. We're going into the compound, and if you hear way off in the background, I'll put up the volume a little bit. As the drummers are drumming, and the people are actually going in to the compound, and they formed one of the largest round dances I've seen in a really long time. It was such a great show of unity and pride, and the people were just so ready to be a part of this event and be a part of history almost. But this is the video here. See all of these people? They actually formed a circle around that fence behind them there, and they did a round dance around the fence. And it's just now the drummers are all coming back out, and but it was so powerful. And you notice the Grand Council flags are flying. I believe it was that day that we went and we posted them and said, you know, they're staying here. And they actually did. They stayed there right to the end. The flags were recovered by, I'm not sure if it was one of the elders or one of the warriors, but the flags got recovered later. But like I said, that was such a powerful moment you know, and it was such a historical moment. And like you look in that crowd, and you've got francophones, you've got anglophones, you've got, you know, First Nations from all over, youth, elders. It was such a spectacular moment that you know, it's things like this, it's events like this that people forget. And you know, they forgot that this happened. I know a lot of people forgot this happened, because October 17th, basically took over the people's minds of what Camp 134 was all about. But that's what 134 was all about. All of those people holding hands, dancing in a circle. They were laughing, and people were crying with such pride. They had so much pride and so much um, overwhelming faith that it was just it was unreal. It was just oh I don't know if I can actually it's hard to put words to it, but when you see all of those people marching out of there, like, can you only imagine um, the looks on those SWN security that were inside that gate, and the SWN workers that were all in there. I don't think any workers were in there at that time, but I know there was security in there. Like, could you only imagine the looks on their face and the panic that went through them when, these hundreds of people just came in and started dancing around them and singing and hooting and hollering and complete celebration of the day and of our accomplishments and like the unity and everything. It was just, it was so, that's what I remember about, October 1st. And it's those memories that stay with me and bring me such pride and that they, you know, that's why I wanted to do this show. I wanted to bring, things like this, events like this, and show the people and tell them, look, we weren't all guns a blazing and cars on fire. That's not who we were. And even the media continuously says, what happened in Elsipogtog? Well, nothing happened in Elsipogtog. Everything happened in Rexton, and it's not even Rexton. It's actually the town of Galloway uh, at the 134 junction. So nothing happened in Elsipogtog that day. A lot of people left that day and went to 134, but it did not happen in Elsipogtog. It was not the people of Elsipogtog who were throwing Molotov cocktails, so they say. It wasn't people of Elsipogtog that were shooting guns and everything else. It was not people of Elsipogtog who got up and dressed in full riot gear at 6 o'clock in the morning and went and started throwing the warriors to the ground and arresting them. So, it's those things that I know people need to hear, and I know they need to see that this is who we were on that day, and that's who I remained um, right to the day that I left. That's who I remained to be, was that person standing there and protecting what was ours for the next generations. And it wasn't for any notoriety, definitely was not for any money. I was accused of that quite a bit. I was accused of being the cause of October 17th. I was accused of a lot of things. And I didn't, for the longest time, after the 17th, I wouldn't go out in public in my own community because it was people in my community that were, accusing me of this. And it was people in my community that I received threats from. But, like I said, a lot of it, there was so much paranoia. There was so much distrust. And even after this day, which was such a beautiful celebration, such an awesome triumph, um, even after this day, there were still doubts in the integrity of our chief. which I'm telling you, it just drove me nuts. That people continued to have negative things to say about our chief and council, and continued to accuse, and then it almost seemed as though the ones who, more like the one of myself, who stood up and screamed the loudest in his defense, I end up becoming targeted. And like I said, as a result, I end up getting some threats, and it was, it's not fun. um, Last night I went to Gobet Lodge and sat down right after the live stream. There was a planning committee going, and I walked in, and it's like, a lot of the allies. I'm like, wow, like I was really happy to see these people, and I hadn't seen them for such a long time, and it was so weird that I hadn't seen these people in so long, but yet they all still felt like my family. They still felt like these were my brothers and sisters. We stood shoulder to shoulder, and we didn't have to pick up arms. We didn't. All we did was, use our voices and our bodies and stood for what was right. And it was. It was people like those men and women that were in that room last night that, when I needed it the most, and I really did need allies, they were the ones that stood up, and um, they were the ones who said, you are the one we're going to follow. We have complete faith in you. And even after everything had happened, they were the first ones to come and give me a hug and say thank you for everything that I had done, the sacrifices that I made on that day, the whole time that I was there. I never did leave the camp. If you see, the way the place is surrounded and everything else, I never left. I pretty well made myself at home, and this is just like the first couple of days. You see the camp. There's not really many tents or anything, but there are a few in there that are hidden. You don't really see them, but yeah, we stayed, and we took a stand, and we had full support of our chief and council, and it's just unfortunate that like I said, like, it was those women that were in that room last night that I accidentally, coincidentally, the creator put me there. I don't know, but it was very uh, nice to sit with friends, like real friends, true friends. Um, it really, it really hurts to watch a lot of these videos, because um, a lot happened. Uh, and because of so much distrust within the camp, um, you're gonna notice, as days go on, that you'll probably see it in some of the videos and some of the pictures that there's an obvious divide in the camp, and it you know, this movement, like I said, you know, these women that were in the room last night, really, it really felt like I was with family, and because of my um, faith in my chief and in the Creator, in knowing they're gonna do what's right, and they're gonna support us, and the Creator's gonna look after us. Uh, because of my faith, I was being looked upon as almost like the enemy in there by the by some of the people that were in there, and because of that very element that fell into our camp, it divided our camp. If you see, I'm going to go back to the screen. If you see here, this is basically the compound, the entrance to it, and this is where majority of the camp was made. Down the road from this is where the Warriors, Nova Scotia Warriors, decided to set up their camp. And because that divide happened, I lost my two younger sisters. You know, we stood together for the first few days, very strong. And then something came. We were a threat to someone or something. And something came in. Something happened that caused a divide in our people. And you know, it's stories like this that I am going to be as open and honest about, because this is what I went through. You know, like I said, this isn't, you know, the Lorraine show, but this is the show according to, and what I have seen and what I have taken part in and what had happened. As far as I know, I am still the only one that has not seen their day in court, and so I still have to be very careful in you know, the things I say and do, but I can no longer sit back and say that it was all um, you know, candies and gumdrops sort of thing. It wasn't, and that's why it brings me a lot of a lot of good memories looking at this video and seeing this picture on our screen, and knowing that we were that strong. you know, we were that large of a community right there at the 134. We were huge, not by numbers, but by our heart and our conviction. And that started to fall apart. And like I said, I ended up losing 2 of my sisters because of it, my 2 younger sisters. We have not spoken since October 16th, 2013. And I don't know.
No, Dr. Fisher?
Oh. But yeah, I'm
I don't know.
I'm putting it out there to the world right now. I did not sell out my community. I did not cause the 17th. So either one of you just so happened to be listening. Yeah, I didn't sell you out. I would not sell out my family. I would not put anything between me and my family. Nothing like that. And I wouldn't allow anybody to. So, yeah. There's still a lot of hurt. There's still a lot of healing that has to happen. And I hope and I pray that my 2 sisters can find that healing that they're going to need. Because I know, sitting here talking, you know, there's a few people out there, but listening. But it's knowing that you're there listening, it's enough for me. And I hope that my message is going to be heard, to all of the people who need to hear it. It today is not only Aboriginal Day, Treaty Day, which marks the signing of the 1752 treaty, which gave us the rights that we're fighting for every day and that we fought for there at 134. But today is also, for New Brunswick anyway, that I know of, I don't know if it's Nova Scotia also, but it is the beginning of Mi'kmaq History Month. And I take pride in who I am. I take pride in what I do. And I take great pride in sharing my culture, sharing and teaching our youth, our children, the different aspects of our culture, and sharing whatever I can, whenever I can, to as many people as I can. So I find today I have an opportunity to do that, being here on a live stream. I don't know what's going on with my chat, but something just. But anyway, I know you guys can still hear me, even though you don't see the chat, but the video's there. This is a good opportunity for me to share with hundreds, maybe even thousands of people. One of the first songs that I have ever heard and learned myself as a Mi'kmaq woman, and it was taught to me by the very man who's going to be singing this song, and the very man whose picture is there behind the words, George Paul from Red Bank, New Brunswick. He taught me this song. I'm never going to say how many years ago, but quite a while ago, and I've been singing it with pride ever since. And I sing it, whenever we have any kind of gathering, whenever we stand together as a people. And I sing with the teachings that he gave me and the pride that he gave me. And so I wanted to share this with all of you who are watching and welcome you to Mi'kmaq History Month. And I'll try and do what I can, not only to open the eyes and ears of the people about what happened in during the shale protest, but also to give some teachings of our culture, our history, and our people. And I'd really just, I want to sign off with this, and I will talk to you all again tomorrow. I don't know what time, probably around the same time, but just to say to those people out there, thank you. And the Mi'kmaq Honor Song.
Where Matstod Mawidanet Give me dead emanate Don Weatherbeck Soltin Liga Matstod Abahon Madutinet Hey Abahon Madutinet Don Gisok Liga Haluk Sigo Ulaw Fit Amo Wea Heu Weo We Haya Ya Weo Heyo He Haya Weo He Haya Ya Weo He Haya Weo He Haya Weo He Haya Ya Weo He Haya Heu Weo We Haya Ya Weo Heyo He Haya Weo He Haya Ya Weo He Haya Weo He Haya Weo He Haya Ya Weo He Haya Heu Give me dead emanate Don Delio no Nigga Matstod Mawidanet Give me dead emanate Don Weatherbeck Soltin Nigga Matstod Abahon Madutinet Hey Abahon Madutinet Dan Gisul Teliga Haluk Sigo Ulaw Fit Amo